My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my tube. I'm fresh after the holidays, so I'm kind of charged up. I've worked thousands of IRS cases. I'm a national figure. I have my own convention every year called the Tax Mob, where we try to let everyone know what the newest is from IRS. So I'm kind of like the IRS insider. I've worked there, like I said, a decade. So I want to talk to you today about IRS tax audits and what can you expect from an IRS audit, or are you going to be audited? So many people ask these questions. Am I going to be audited by the IRS? Well, let me at least start with that today. I'm going to do a whole series of audit stuff this week. I think I'm in the audit mood. So anyway, why are you audited by IRS? Well, generally, it's because of the diff score. You're saying, what's a diff score? I want to know my diff score. That's when everyone says, how can I tell me what my diff score is? Well, IRS kind of keeps it secret. It's like the Coca-Cola formula, even though you can probably break that down chemically. I'm sure you can. IRS keeps it secret, but basically what it is. I mean, as a former agent, I can pretty much tell you if your return's going to get audited. When you look at so many and you see the returns come to you, oh God, this is an easy audit. Well, first of all, they're generally returns that don't even make sense. You'd be shocked. Now, many of the people probably listening to this have returns that make sense, but you would be surprised. People send returns. What's a return that doesn't make sense? Well, they got losses on there and they owe no tax. Returns that all end in zeros. What you can just tell returns that just, or their advertising and their travel is just through the roof. While all this is possible, it throws off the IRS algorithm. So you're audited because of this reason. The IRS algorithm, the diff score, stands for the Discriminatory Index Function score. What that means is IRS has gathered all these algorithms with artificial intelligence. My God, they're going to have this down to a science. They go ahead and they move through your tax return. Every item that has a number associated with this is punched into a computer, to an algorithm, and IRS just goes through the return, scans it, and it comes up with a diff score, DIF score. A matter of fact, I actually have a diff score. I'll have to show you one of these videos that I do, an actual diff. And if you go over that diff score, it means, oh, the likelihood of IRS looking at that return is good, because you've fallen out of the average of what people making your income and maybe where you live, you fall way out of that. But that doesn't mean that something's wrong with your return. There's a likelihood there is. So then IRS, like I said, has different numbers that they run and they come up with. But usually, if you have a high diff score, this is how this works. Let's say they know in the South Florida office in Fort Lauderdale, that office can handle 700 audits a year. Well, what they do is they make sure that that office has 700 of the lowest hanging fruit audits they possibly can, because they have to show Congress, in fact, they've made money from these audits. So IRS is going to hone down on this and say these are the likelihood that they're going to get us money. How do they even do that? Well, they send a whole package of these down to the local office, and when they go ahead and do that, something just hit my window. I think a bird just hit my window. But when they go ahead and do that, what they do is the agents in the local office fill out this first page cover, yes, no, yes, no. They've looked at so many and they said, these returns have a probability of us getting some money from. That's how that works. So the IRS, the return, the computer scans for diff scores. They come down to the local office. They're eyeballed. They're sent back. And then they're sent back down to that office depending on how many agents, in fact, that office can handle in a given year. That's the diff score, and that's why you get audited. If you fall within the norms, you don't know what the norms are, but we can kind of guess of looking at so many, you're not going to get audited. It's that simple. Anyway, you need me for an audit. I know the system. We know the system. Give us a call. We're your best audit defense. Thank you very much.